Today, I'm showing you how to make delicious, easy, vegan overnight oats. Oats are so great because they really take on any flavor that you add to them. Gone are the days of bland, boring oatmeal that we all grew up dreading to eat every morning. So that's why I'm so excited to share with you 5 different vegan overnight oat recipes to give your morning routine some flavor and variety. Hi everyone, if you're new here, my name's Mary Allison, but you can call me Mary A. On this channel, I teach you tips, tricks, and recipes to a plant-based lifestyle. So if that's something you like, then go ahead and subscribe below. So as you know, we're making overnight oats 5 different ways, and I love overnight oats so much because it's a great grab-and-go breakfast for busy mornings. You can eat it hot or cold, and it basically tastes like dessert in a jar, and I love dessert. So for these recipes, we keep the base pretty much the same and just add more flavors to the base to make each recipe unique and flavorful. All right, so really quick before we get into all of the separate recipes, I do want to show you what I'm using for the base of all of the recipes. And I'm using this Joy cashew and or almond milk base. So I love this stuff because you just make your own plant milk basically. So this is just almonds and this is just cashews. It's better for the environment because there's 27 cups in one serving, so it reduces the waste. And there's no additives in it like store-bought, and you don't have to worry about the mess of straining your own almond milk, which is nice. But do not worry if you do not have these products. You can just use whatever plant milk you have on hand. If you want to make your life a little bit easier, after you watch this video, click the first link in the description below and you can check these out for yourself. Joy was so kind and gave us a discount code, and you can use Mary_Allison20 to get 20% off of your order. So with that said, let's get to the recipes. First, we have blueberry banana overnight oats, starting with half of a very ripe banana. I'm using my Oster little personal blender. You can find one at Target. Then I have half a cup of water, half a tablespoon of the Joy product that I mentioned earlier, half a teaspoon of vanilla. Put on the lid, blend it all together. If you don't have your own personal blender, you can use a blender or food processor that you already do have. Take off the lid, add in a 1/3 cup of oats, 1 teaspoon of chia seeds, a little bit of cinnamon, a little sprinkle of salt, add in about half a cup of blueberries, and then you can put your lid on, shake it all together, and you can store it in your little personal blender, which is super convenient, or you can add it to a separate jar and store it in that instead. Place the lid, set it to the side. Next, we have the chocolate nut butter oats, starting with half a cup of water, half a tablespoon of Joy, 2 tablespoons of vegan vanilla or plain yogurt, 1 tablespoon of nut or seed butter, half a tablespoon of cacao powder, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and then 1 to 2 medjool dates. A little sprinkle of salt, put the lid on, and blend it all together. Again, you could use any food processor or blender that you have on hand. Take the lid off, add in a 1/3 cup of oats, place the lid on and shake it all together. Again, I like this cup because you could just store it in there, making it super easy and on the go, or you could just pour it in a separate jar and keep it in that. Put the lid on and set it to the side. Now for the pumpkin spice latte oats, we have 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup of iced coffee, half a tablespoon of Joy, half a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree, and then 1 to 2 medjool dates, 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin spice, and 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Add a sprinkle of salt in, put the lid on, and blend it all together. By the way, if you want all 5 of these overnight oat recipes in written PDF format, there will be a link in the description below to download them there. And now I'm pouring it into a separate jar this time, mixing it up, adding 1/3 cup of oats to it, 1 teaspoon of chia seeds, mix it all together, and this is the jar that I'm going to store it in. Put the lid on and set it to the side. For the matcha coconut overnight oats, we have half a cup of water, half a tablespoon of Joy cashew or almond base, half a teaspoon of matcha powder, half a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 to 2 medjool dates for sweetness. Put the lid on and blend it all together. Again, you can use any blender or food processor that you have. Then you can add it into a jar or a separate container. 1/3 cup of oats, 1 teaspoon of chia seeds, 1 tablespoon of shredded unsweetened coconut flakes. Mix it all together until it is nice and combined. You can put the lid on it and set it to the side. Now we have apple pie overnight oats. Starting with 1 apple, you want to chop it up and then dice it into small pieces. Place them in a bowl, season it with cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. Mix it all together so it's nice and combined. Turn on your stove over medium heat. Add the apples to the pan. Stir it up. You can add a little bit of water. Stir it even more. And then I ended up adding even more water to get them nice and soft. And then you move on to half a cup of water, half a tablespoon of Joy almond or cashew base, half a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 to 2 medjool dates for sweetness, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a little bit of allspice, a little bit of nutmeg, sprinkle in some salt, add your lid and blend it all together in any blender or food processor that you have. Again, I like this one because it makes my life easy and I can just store it all in there. Then you add half of your sauteed apples to the mix. And then half a teaspoon of flaxseed, 1/3 of a cup of oats. Put your lid on, shake it all together, and then you can store it in there or pour it into a different jar. And then add the rest of your apples to the top of your oats. Put on the lid and place it to the side. Now that our jars are finished, you're just gonna store them in the fridge overnight. So our oats have set in the fridge overnight and now it's time to top them. For the toppings for the blueberry banana, I'm going to use Love Grown Power Oats. And here you could really use any cereal or granola that you want. And some banana, of course. Then I'm gonna sprinkle it with some cinnamon. All right, so now our blueberry banana oats are finished and I can't wait to eat those later. All right, so now for the chocolate nut butter oats, I'm going to start with Love Grown Power Oats. Lots of crunch here. I like to fill it all the way up. I'll add in a couple of bananas and I'm going to drizzle it with a little bit of almond butter. And then I have these unsweetened chocolate chips here. So these are just 100% cacao. I'll just sprinkle those all over the top. The chocolate and nut butter oats are completed. They look so, so good. I can't wait to eat those. All right, so for the pumpkin spice latte oats, again, surprise, we have these Love Grown Power Oats that I'm just going to add in. And here for the topping, you can use any like granola or cereal. And then I'm going to add some coconut yogurt to the top. Finish it with a little bit of pumpkin spice. The pumpkin spice latte overnight oats are finished. They look so great. So this one is the matcha coconut one. I am going to load it up, starting with these Power O's. All right, then I'll add a few bananas, maybe add a few blueberries. I think I'll just finish it off with coconut. I don't know if I'm gonna use all the rest of this, actually. And I think I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of matcha on top as well. And now our matcha coconut overnight oats are completed and ready to dig in. So for the apples, I'm going to add even more apples to the top, a little bit of coconut yogurt, drizzle of some almond butter, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. And I'll sprinkle a couple of Power O's on the top as well. All right, so the apple pie overnight oats are completed. They look absolutely delicious. Yum. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed these 5 overnight oat recipes. If you want the written recipe sent straight to your inbox in a PDF download, then go ahead and click the link in the description below and it'll be sent straight to you. And if you're wanting some support on your plant-based journey, don't forget to join our Healthy Plant-Based Lifestyle group on Facebook. That can be found in the description below. And follow me on Instagram at Mary_Allison to get a more behind-the-scenes look on my plant-based journey. With that said, if you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video from me. I will see y'all next time.